If you've ever arrived at the sobering reality that tomorrow two old men will determine the fate of the human race, then go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I'm your host, the average state of the world priority update video enjoyer that your mom says that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is we're going to be discussing the meeting of a 79-year-old man and a 72-year-old man in J Bear, Alaska, that will determine the fate of the United States and Russia. If you guys like the state of the world updates, all that I ask that you do tonight is just hit the like button and leave a combat llama emoji down below and let me know, how do you think this outcome will affect the United States, and what do you think will come of this meeting between President Trump and Vladimir Putin? Without further ado, let's just get right into the news, as it's late and I am tired. Here we go. Tomorrow there's a meeting slated at Joint Base Elmendorf Richardson, that's in Anchorage, Alaska, between President Trump and President Putin. This is the first time they've met in person since 2019. Obviously, it goes without saying that this is a major meeting and will potentially determine the outcome of the Ukraine war, if there is an ending or if it will continue, as well as nuclear stability in the region and across the world. The agenda headlines include the Ukraine war, possible ceasefire framework, sanctions on Russia between the United States and Russia and other countries, and of course, nuclear and strategic stability. As we know, there has been nuclear saber rattling occurring over the past few months due to the um, outlook on the Ukraine war. The optics for this include Putin has publicly praised Trump recently for efforts to end the war ahead of the talks. Kremlin is signaling openness while shaping the narrative. Europe, on the other hand, is extremely concerned, and their key fears for the summit, in case the summit goes sideways, includes territorial concessions. Without Kiev and Europe at the table, they are worried about Ukraine being taken piece by piece, and any sort of peace deal resulting in Ukraine basically not existing anymore. Sanctions, erosion, or delinkage from Russian behavior, weakening European leverage. Obviously, there's concerns about oil and territorial gains, as well as a buffer zone between certain countries. You look at Latvia, Estonia, Romania, Poland, France, the United Kingdom, all of it. They all want a buffer zone, and they're worried about European leverage in the region and NATO leverage in the region. So there's obvious reasons to be concerned. Security concerns and security guarantees diluted. NATO deterrence signals muddied. Ceasefire without enforceable terms. Precedent risks a deal that freezes lines of controls and normalizes occupation to include the occupation of Ukraine, inching forward towards Poland and threatening NATO security in the region. I want to read to you guys some statistics tonight that will hopefully help you further understand the reality of the situation that we all face, whether it be actively or passively, depending on your role and everything. Tomorrow is a major day in peace talks or in further aggression between the United States and Russia, which could lead to the deployment of hundreds of millions of people and the death of billions. So I'm going to read you guys some numbers, some statistics here tonight, and I really do just ask for you to weigh in down below on where you think this is going to end up. Since the Ukraine war has began, losses in equipment from the sources I could find, to include Russia Matters, The Guardian, Washington Post, CNN, and others. Personnel killed and wounded. Russia, over 1 million total casualties, up to 250,000 killed, 250,000 killed, okay? And 1 million total casualties for Russia. For Ukraine, 400,000 estimated total casualties, with 60,000 to 100,000 killed. That is combining Russian and Western estimates. Equipment lost for Russia. Ground combat vehicles include roughly 10,000, 3,000 tanks, 250 aircraft, helicopters, 10 naval vessels. For Ukraine, we're looking at 1,200 tanks, 180 Bradley fighting vehicles. Ukrainian equipment lost or less complete publicly, okay, due to open source. But you can estimate that we're looking at 3,000 tanks per side. and roughly 300 aircraft on each side. Okay, give or take a little bit there. U.S. aid to Ukraine commitments and deliveries. The total U.S. aid committed to Ukraine is $128 billion. I say again, the total U.S. aid committed to Ukraine is $128 billion. There's been roughly 66 billion, okay, that have been for security assistance alone and military aid. What this all boils down to, guys, is whatever is discussed tomorrow, whatever outcomes we arrive at, what we can all hope for is for peace. Further escalation would cause destabilization in the region, would cause for a potential activation of U.S. mobilization and troops. So I think what we can all agree at this point is keep your eyes on the news, continue preparing, be aware of what's happening, notify a buddy of what's happening, share this video with a buddy, and make sure everyone's prepared. And yeah, just keep your eyes to the sky and make sure we are doing the right thing, okay? Thanks for supporting the channel. If you guys want to support monetarily for the updates, you can either donate to the ammunition fund monetarily. There'll be a link down below where you can donate, $1, $20, anything helps for the burn downs. Thank you for doing that. You can join the Patreon and get you access to a closed Discord server for $5 where you can find buddies to train with, game with, or just find buddies to talk about news like this, okay? So consider joining the Patreon to get you access to that Discord server. Or, at a minimum, just hit the like button. Thank you for doing that. If these videos continue to get decent traction, I'll continue making them. Thank you for supporting the channel. Leave your Combat Llama emoji down below. And until next time, it's going to be a Trench Grenade, your average sleepy drill sergeant. Your mom says we have at home signing out. Cheers.